Sorry I haven't made a video lately. Sold my last couple computers and just kind of got out of it. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm using the shotgun mic, so it might not pick me up too well. But picked up a new PC last night. It was an iBuyPower PC, is what it said on this front, but I was managed to peel that off. It's an NZXT case. I don't know the actual model, but I'll show you what I got, and then I'll tell you what I paid for it. So that's just a little side panel. Focus here. High power, 80 plus, 600 watt, just some cheap power supply they throw in from iBuyPower. CD drive, which is nothing really, no hard drive. A generic MSI board, B150M Pro. And when I talked to the kid, he didn't know what CPU it had in it. And he goes, well, I think it's an i5. And I paid a pretty low price, so I wasn't worried about what CPU is in it. But once I got it home, I managed to zoom in on this thing. i5 6402P. Which I've looked into it. You know, people play games on it. It's not going to be anything crazy, but I actually only paid $20 for this. And I don't know if the kid just didn't realize what it was or he didn't care, but it has a little Wi-Fi adapter on there. Nothing too fancy, but I ordered an RX 574 gig, 8 gigs of RAM, 250 gig SSD, and then some RGB lights that I will put here, here, and here. The front doesn't really have anywhere to, I mean, there's like mounting spots, but you can't really do much there, so I'm just going to stick with what I've got and throw, replace this fan, give somebody some RGB to play with, and hopefully it all works. I mean, I wasn't really able to test it, but $20 is not a huge loss, and I could always put those other parts into a different PC, so once those get here, I'll make sure to bring you guys back and get you an update. Hey guys, it's Nolan here, NGK330, and the PC build is complete. My little flip challenge I was doing. I had a total with tax. Let me turn around and look. I had a total cost with tax was $209.72. Started putting the PC together, got the SSD in, got the graphics card from eBay, and it ended up something wasn't working. The PC was turning on, the LEDs were flashing. Wasn't really sure. Could it be a motherboard? Could it be a dead CPU? The power supply, the RAM could have come DOA, anything like that. And so I ended up saying, what's the cheapest thing to replace first? Probably the power supply, because it was brand new RAM. I've never had DOA RAM, but I've heard people have, but I've never had an issue, so I was like, oh, we'll rule that one out for now. CPU, I did have another motherboard here that I could have swapped it to, my main build, which you see here, but I didn't really want to deal with it, so I said, you know what, I'll spend $30. I used to get EVGA 600 watt brand new power supplies, $30 out the door. Couldn't find those. For some reason, power supplies have gotten extremely expensive in the past 2-3 months, because I was flipping a lot of PCs earlier this year, and then I stopped over the summer with my internship and moving around and all that, but couldn't find any decent sized power supplies that are at a good brand for the old $30. So I was actually on EVGA B stock. I've seen Toasty Bros talk about it. Tons of other big tech YouTubers have brought up EVGA B stock. But typically they're bringing it up when it comes to graphics cards. This is the first time, and I could have easily missed it, but this is the first time I've ever dealt with EVGA B stock for power supplies. I don't know anyone else that's ever used one. And I saw a 600 watt one for $30. So I said, you know what, we're going to take a chance, order it. That took a couple days to get here, and then took me a couple days to install it because I was starting up classes again my senior year here. So all got it installed, put it together, and sure enough, it worked. So, rule that out, bad power supply. Just a quick price rundown. I'm going to turn around and read it off to you. I know that's not the most efficient way, but that's how we're going to do it. So, for the base PC, which was the case, CPU, PSU, and motherboard, I spent $20 on it. And then for the Asus Strix RX 574 gig, $86 to my door. And then the SSD, the fans, and the RAM were $90. And this is the first time I've ever put LED fans on a flip build that weren't already on there. So like I spent I think it was $18.99 or something. These are the up here, the three pack, and they just are generic like RGB around the edge. You can't change them or anything, so that's what I decided to go with. So the total cost was $209.72, and then after the power supply ended up, being dead, I had to spend another $30. So total cost after tax for this build was $241.81. It's $241.81. That's US. I'm here in the States, so pretty easy build for $241. This could easily be a backup rig or a stream rig where you have your main build playing and that one's streaming. Anything along those lines. For me, I'm just gonna sell it. Don't really have a use for it. I stream sometimes, but my PC does okay enough, so don't really need a stream build. I'm thinking about upgrading. I have an i5 7600K in here, so I might jump to an i7. Depends if I find a good deal, but I actually do have a buyer that's looking at this PC. I'm supposed to drop it off Friday, so we'll see how that goes. He is, the current offer is 500 USD, so just over double what I put into it. And the nice thing was on this, it was an old CyberPower PC, and it come with a Windows sticker, Windows 7 Windows sticker on the side. So I was able, or maybe it was Windows 8, I don't remember, but I was able to use that code to upgrade to Windows 10 Pro or Windows 10 Home and have an actual licensed copy. So should be doubling my money on this. If it changes, I'll make sure to let you guys know in the description. If you guys have any questions, I did play Fortnite on it. There is the typical Fortnite stutter when you're jumping the bus and stuff like that, but overall, very smooth gameplay. Checked all my temps with MSI. I have that, so it'll overlay when I was playing, and everything looked good. It does have a stock Intel cooler, but, you're not going to be overclocking with an i5 6402. And I'll have the description, all the specs, but yeah, i5 6402, 8 gigs of standard RAM, RX 574 gig, 600 watt power supply, 240 gig SSD, nothing special. These are super easy flips you guys can do. I did get a really good deal though with the $20 for the case, the motherboard, and the CPU. So I know that doesn't pop up all the time, but just be watching. Biggest thing for me, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. I don't really do let go, offer up. Where I live in the States, nobody really uses that here. So my biggest two are Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. So if you guys got any questions about flipping PCs or anything in that nature, let me know, and I can make a video answering those. So thank you.